Welcome back. You're watching Aciero. Today I'm back again, and today I'm back with another video about scents. Today I'm back again with signature scents. Most of you have been asking me how and what should their signature scents be, and how do they discover what their signature scent should be. And then I am here to tell you all about signature scents. Today I'm here also to give you like a guide on how to find your signature scent, because it's so difficult to break through the noise. There's so many scents out there, there's so many perfumes that look alike, and we have so many different personalities and also very different tastes. And perfume is subjective and also depends. So because this depends, you know, it depends on, a few things. Some of us have other professions, like some of you have a 9-to-5 job, so you require a different signature scent than someone who works in a warehouse, or someone who works at home, than someone else who is always working at night in the club or somewhere else. So that kind of thing. We have variety of personalities, and we have variety of activities we do, and we have variety of body chemistry. So I'm here to give you a guide that applies to every single one of you who is watching or who is not watching yet, but to help you get your signature scent game right. Yeah, and when I say signature scent, I don't mean like what perfume you should go buy, blah blah blah. I mean something that you can always pick up anytime, any day, every season. If you're someone who is like, I want to wear just one scent for all the 4 seasons, yeah, signature scent is something for you. And some of you are like, you have so many perfumes and you can't choose which one, and you want people to know you for certain perfume. This is also a video for you. You're like, okay, I want people to know me for this, scent, or this is the most frequent scent I wear. So that's something like a signature scent for you too. And the other thing is also, signature scents are very helpful to have. Why? Most of you are on budgets. Like I always say to people, save your money if you have it. If you don't have it, don't spend it. If just spend it wisely. And I know it's difficult to say this when there's so many things you want. Most of you have so many things to buy, and when there's so many things to buy, you can't spend all your money on just perfume. So you just need to also just get one perfume sometimes, and which fits in your budget. But how do you get that perfume? Yeah, that's also related to signature scent. So the other thing I want to tell you, having a signature scent, very important thing that helped me having a signature is saving money and actually not buying so many perfumes, because I only had one perfume to wear and it was the right perfume for me all seasons. So I was so happy with the signature, and that's why I recommend people to have a signature scent, because most of you said to me, why do I need a signature scent? There's so many perfumes out there. Yeah, I know, but when you just have one perfume that people know you about and that smells really well on you, that's something you really have to grab onto. When I discover something that works, I never let go of it, no matter what comes along. But that's a story for another day. But okay, the buying guide of your signature scent is this. Get a pen and paper if you want to, put this on paper. First of all, you have to understand yourself first. Understand the activities you do, and when do you want to wear perfume. When are you wearing perfume? Are you wearing perfume all day and night, even when you're going to sleep? Or are you only wearing perfume when you're going out? So those things matter. So if you're only wearing perfume when you're going out, that's also something you have to consider, and what type of perfume. So those are the things you put down on a list of paper. Put down what you do, the activities you're doing, and then put down the ingredients you love to use in cooking, in your cooking. This is very funny because people don't believe me, but most of the time the spices we use or the herbs we use in cooking that we really like in our food really are good ingredients for some of the perfumes really out there on the market. And most of the time we attract those perfumes. Not attract, actually, when you go to a store and then you smell that kind of familiar scent, you always drawn to it. We are not attracted, but we are drawn to it. So most of the time that draws us to things like like I know most of you love saffron in your food, so you're mostly drawn to baccarat rouge because it has a saffron. I'm not saying 540 is everyone's signature scent, but some of you I know love baccarat rouge 540, and most of you love saffron in your food, and you're drawn to baccarat rouge because of that saffron. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm really sure. And sometimes the amber too. Amber is also good in ice cream and that kind of thing. But to continue with this is the ingredients you're using to cook, and the other thing is, what do you love smelling like? Think about a fruit, a plant, whatever you love. You'll be like, okay, what do I like to smell like? So do you want to smell like a rose? Do you like to smell like an orchid? Do you want to smell like like sugarcane? Do you want to smell like like leather? Do you want to smell like whatever comes in your head? Write it down. What do you want to smell like? You want to smell like a sappy orange? Do you want to smell like a fresh seed? You want to smell? You want to smell like a like salt? I don't know. Anything you think of like smelling, put it down on a piece of paper. So when you've got those smells that you think you want to smell like, the ingredients you love to smell like, the plants you love, the things you love to cook, put them together. And let me give you an example of me. I love roses. My garden is full of roses. I plant roses. I don't know why they're so difficult to grow, but I love growing roses. In Europe, it's very stupid, but I know I'm silly, but I love roses. And I love the smell of roses, but I wouldn't want to walk out smelling like real rose. I also love vanilla, and I also love musk, and I also love I just love something that smells really sweet, floral and nice and soft, and and not girly, but kind of soft and sophisticated. So, and also the herbs I use also in my food, like I use saffron, I use vanilla when I'm cooking. Sometimes I use thyme, I use sometimes I also use rose buds to cook. The small roses when they haven't yet bloomed. I use curry, I use coriander, I use all those things. So when I go to a store to find a perfume, my nose, is more drawn to those perfumes that smell like something familiar to me. So I love smelling fresh too. So to me, I'm like Oriental, but I also love fresh. My nose is drawn to Oriental because I love all these spices and all these Oriental plants and those things, tropical plants and those things. So I'm drawn into the tropical Oriental garden than like the ocean and the sea and whatever. But at the same time, when I get all these two mixed up, I end up with a variety of perfumes that actually similar to each other. Like I've had like I think I've had like 5 signature scents the last 15 years or something. And those 5 signature scents have always been similar to each other, and it's not like they're from the same company. They have never been from the same company, but I've loved them because they have one common ingredient, and this common ingredient is rose and the spices. It has a velvet rose. It has also, sometimes it has wood. It's like a rose but in variation of different, is it a different type of rose or different type of smell, or with a different type of spice mixed together, which gives it a different smell, but it's still similar. Like if I tell you all the perfumes I've had first perfume I've ever had as a signature scent was from Lancome. It was called Tresor. Yeah, the first Tresor, the original, not these other mixed up ones, the original Tresor. That perfume still smells really nice. That used to be like my mom's perfume. My mom used to wear that, so I was like, drawn to that because of that. But still, I still love that perfume up to now. I still wear it. And second perfume I had was Mani Coat. That's kind of different because it smells kind of fresh and different. So other perfume I had was a Flowerboom, the original, and then I got the Flowerboom Intense. The Intense smells like the original, but they don't sell the Intense anymore. It comes in a purple proper bottle. It really looks exactly like the Flowerboom original. And then after the Flowerboom, I went to Velvet Rose from Jo Malone. And after that, there was a Velvet Rose and Wood. Yeah, that was really, really nice. It was so sexy. I still love it. I still have it. After that, I went to Tom Ford's White Suede. And what you see in all these perfumes, like Tom Ford White Suede has musk and has roses and has leather. No, suede, sorry, it's not leather. And it has thyme. I love cooking with thyme. That's one of my favorite spices. And then when you go back to Velvet Rose, it has a rose, it has wood, it has the little bit of, I think, a vanilla or something. When you go back to Tresor, it has like patchouli, it has vanilla, it has rose, and it has peach. You know, it has a fruit because I love fruity stuff. And then, but the main ingredient has always been rose. Amani called, I'm not so sure what it has, but it smells like a fresh citrus, and it's something that's fresh, but it has kind of something, some sweet thing. I don't know if it's vanilla or it's kind of a rose there in. I don't know, but they all have a certain type of rose, but it's like it goes parallel. And I've been wearing these perfumes from season A to season D, you know, and the only time I change perfume is when I discovered a new one. And I don't just discover perfumes, I do research. And when it's my birthday, friends of mine buy me perfume sometimes. And then when they ask me what perfume do I want, I just say, oh, this is what I want, and they give me that. And right now I'm stuck in between White Suede and Noir de Noir from Tom Ford. I recently got Noir de Noir from Tom Ford on Valentine's Day. It hasn't been like my signature scent because that Tom Ford is kind of very expensive, because I already had the White Suede, which is really a big bottle, 100 ml, but the Noir de Noir is like the 50 ml, and it's now like halfway through. But it also has a rose and a patchouli and a wood. So I realize now I love wood and I love patchouli and I love roses. That's, and I also love truffles. So truffles is also another ingredient that I've discovered. Like, I love eating truffles. So when it's in a perfume, I love wearing it because of that. So when you think about this whole combination, the things you love, the things you eat, the things you love to smelling like, you're like, oh, would I want to smell like a peach? Would I want to smell like a juicy lemon? Or do I want to smell like a juicy orange? Or, or like a juicy grape or something like that. So when you think about all the things you like, love to smell like, when you look at, like, you like as a fruit, or it's like a spice, you want to smell like a spice, or you love the spice, the way it smells, what it gives into your food, how it makes your food smell, or and then what kind of ingredient that you always live without. Yeah, I love orchids. They really, really, really look good, and a perfume that smells like orchids is really also really beautiful for me. But I love roses more. Although the orchid is more elegant, I buy orchids and I put them in my house during, in my house for decoration and that kind of thing. And I, water them and I grow them again, and like for 2 years or 3 years, and then I replace them. But they're difficult plants, but they are beautiful when they bloom. Roses, same story. But having a signature scent, you have to make sure that you will not get tired of that scent, that you will love it day and night no matter what. So finding out the things you love will help you find the right signature scent, and draw you to the right scent that you won't have regrets to buy. You won't have regrets of spending money, to like, oh, I wish I didn't spend that money on this perfume. So you won't have that. So ladies and gentlemen, I think I've given you enough tips and tricks on how to get your signature scent and how to buy it. And please, for most of you there who keep on asking why would someone buy a so expensive perfume, yet they are on some websites for so little, please don't buy those duplicate perfumes. Don't buy those perfumes on other websites that claim like 10% worth of what the original price of the designer retails the price for. Because if it's like that, believe me, you're not spraying your skin, or you're not spraying yourself with a perfume. But that perfume, you're spraying yourself with some chemical. You don't know where they made it from. You don't know which lab. Maybe they didn't test it. You give yourself, burns and things you don't know. Try to buy the perfumes from the certified retailers so that you get your money's worth and the back for your money. Don't go cheap. because if you're going cheap, you rather don't wear a perfume because you don't want to get rashes and things because you bought a perfume that, you know, yeah, that's not really a real perfume, you know, or like a perfume that's not tested, and you know later on you'll be like, why you get, you know, you get into more costs than you imagine. So for most of you, I hope you've had enough information about me. Let me stop, you know, blah 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 blah, and just go out there, get yourself that signature scent you've been waiting for, and I hope that guide was helpful for you. And leave more comments in the comment section below, telling me what's your signature scent, and also leave me other questions regarding anything you want to know about scents or anything, you know, I don't know. But if you're new here, thanks for watching. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for your support, and see you in the next video in 1, 2, 3 and go.